Well, here I am today, and I've come over to the Shuttleworth collection in Old Warden. They've got a fete on here today, and we've got all sorts. We've got a vast collection of old Triumphs here, and then we'll be going into the hangars and having a look at some of the wonderful aircraft that they have here. Old Warden is and the Shuttleworth collection is, well, in my view, one of the best collections that there are. And you'll see as we go through some of the hangars of some of the most wonderful aircraft that they have here. But for the time being, let's have a look at some of these old Triumph Stags. Look at this. There's a vast collection. And we have some old aircraft that are flying around. But look, I've never seen so many of these little old Stags and that, and all types. Wow. Quite incredible, really, isn't it? But I just thought you would be interested in having a look at some of these. And this vast collection of cars. Look at this blue one here. I'll show you here. It's got the T-bar over the top. Look at that. Isn't that in wonderful condition? And if I pan up, and I may be able to catch this plane. I don't know if I can. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think we've got him. There he is. Look at that. He'll be coming in here to land, I presume. But it's a wonderful collection. If you ever get the opportunity to, I'll just show you, pan around. If you ever get the opportunity to come over here, I highly recommend it. And when you see, as I say, when we go in the hangar, and you see some of these wonderful aircraft, they will also blow you away. So I just thought, yeah, I try to do different things for the channel. And that, oh, I've got a wasp. And here we have an old steam engine coming along. And if I walk up, I will show you this old steam engine. Yeah, get a load of this. Wow, that is a beast, isn't it? Oh, look, what a beast. We have another string of cars here as well, another set of Triumphs. Here we are in one of the hangars, and I've just been told by a good friend of mine that this is an Avro Anson. It's not a plane that I'm too familiar with, to be honest with you. And it dates back to 1946, which was obviously just after the Second World War. Quite interesting. As I say, most of these planes are still flown to this day. We have a few old tractors over here, and I've just seen a little motorbike and sidecar that's an old Royal Air Force, comes from Collinsby. That back on. So yeah, I've just noticed this little motorbike and sidecar, and these were very, very popular in their day. There's a little bit of information here. It's a 1948 Norton Big 4. Look at that. These, as I say, were very, very popular in their day. What the Big 4 stands for, I don't know. I'm sure it probably tells you it's just a one-cylinder. It started life as a belt-driven motorbike, can you believe? Oh, look at that. It's got an old crash helmet in the back there, picnic table on the picnic basket on the top. Here we have a couple of old tractors, and this is all about the Women's Land Army. Created in 1917, the Women's Land Army, WLA, was a civilian organisation set up by the Board of Agriculture during the First World War due to high numbers of men being called up to military service. And here we have a little David Brown. David Brown. But this is in absolute gorgeous condition, isn't it, this plane? Look at that. Absolute fabulous.
If you enjoy pictures, there's some lovely photos.
And look at this. Here we have a Dornier Seaboat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 engines. Look at that. And that's its arrival in New York in 1931. Incredible. I always like the old seaboats. And behind me here we have Imperial Airways London, a Hanley Page Hengist. It says here on the apron of Croydon Airport, originally built as a Western specification for European routes in 1931. I hope this is coming out quite well. And this is an Armstrong Whitworth and dates back to 1938. But we're going to take a wander down the hangar and see what else we find. And this is an old RAC service motorbike. It's a Norton 490cc, and the RAC, which I still going today, and you would see these parked up alongside the road on roundabouts, and if you'd broken down, they'd send one of these bikes out with a mechanic to fix your car and that. This is in incredible condition. It's absolutely wonderful. It even has a little fire extinguisher on the back there if you look. RAC, Royal Automobile Club. And yeah, and the chaps would all be dressed in wonderful uniforms, and they would salute you if they saw that you had an RAC badge on your car, and they would salute you as you drove past. All those days have passed now, that's for sure. Now you're lucky if you can get an AA man or an RAC man out. I tried and it took me several hours. Here we have a Travel Air D400 Speedwing. Wow. Look at the pistons on this. Wow. And it dates back to 1920. Look at that. Truly incredible. I just love all these old planes. Here we have a 1940s American Ryan. I believe again it was a racing plane. Look at that. That's quite incredible. In such beautiful condition. They really, really do look after the planes here, or the aircraft, should I say, here at the Shuttleworth. Shuttleworth to me is a far better collection than the one that they have over in Duxford. And it's a damn sight cheaper to come here and look at the aircraft than it is to go to Duxford. And we're going to see a lot more as we walk through the hangars. Here we have what's known as a Bristol box kite, and I've just been told by my good friend Richard that it was actually used and built for the film The Magnificent Men in their flying machine. And it does actually fly apparently, but they can only take it out on extremely still days with no wind, and you would have to be truly skilled, I believe, at flying this. But what an extraordinary aircraft. It's very similar, I believe, to the Wright brothers' first plane. But look at this. You have a wing up here as well. Truly extraordinary, and all these levers and everything else. Personally, it would scare me to death. Quite incredible. Let's see what we got here. Yeah. And the box kite was issued to the Royal Navy Air Service in March 1911. Some 76 box kites were built, which was a large number for the period. However, they proved cumbersome to fly, and by 1915 the majority had ceased to operate. Well, I can understand that, looking at it, that they were cumbersome and very, very complicated. We have a series of various engines in here. It really is a wonderful collection of aircraft. And this is an Avro triplane. It says on there, I'm looking, Sir Percy Wayne Fleet, I think it says on there. Look at that. As we come down, we have this tiny little thing here. This is the world's oldest flying aeroplane and Avro engine, and it is a Blériot Type 11, 1906. Can you believe that? That is the world's oldest plane. How incredible. How truly incredible. Look at the size of the engine. And then if I pan in, you would just be able to see, I think, the carburettor. Wow, look at that. And of course, they're so paper thin.